0, 1. Let's get started.
All right, welcome to episode 14 of Unforced Errors. I am Frank, and this is
Carl.
That is awesome. So today, Carl, let's go through the rundown. We are going to talk about Chorus's new paddle, the Phoenix, that we finally got to hit and enjoyed. And we are going to cover MLP in great detail. So that was just a wild playoff at MLP, so looking forward to talking about that. And
electric.
There's that. And then we'll also cover where we're heading next as far as the pro scene goes. So, Carl, get us started. We hit the Phoenix yesterday for some extended amount of time. Give me your input on it.
I really enjoyed it.
Here it is, by the way. Let's not forget it. Look at this cover. Come
on.
Oh,
yeah.
This cover, clean.
And the case it came in, you get a free song. The case is really nice.
Here it is, the Phoenix.
Frank can post a picture of how it arrived.
I'm hitting every angle we got right here with this paddle. All right. Yes.
I really like this. You know, I'm a huge fan of the Super Court.
Same.
Love it. I love the handle. I love the shape of this paddle. It's similar. The HX, their HX. I just love that shape. And the handle is a really good length to give you those solid forehands and dominant backhands, even for you.
Your backhand has been improving somehow.
It's been better, and playing with that, it was really comfortable.
Yeah.
I felt like it had a good amount of pop. It reminded me of the Super Court in a lot of ways, but just like elevated. You know what I mean? Which is hard to do.
I do. I agree with that. I said in my review of the Super Court that I felt like the Echo is like the little brother of the Super Court, where it's like less pop. You know, it's much more forgiving. It wasn't quite as stiff, and it had a little less power, which, you know, is exactly what you were looking for in a control paddle. But then I liked the step up to the Super Court because then you get all of those things. And now this is like the big brother. Yeah. Because it's like definitely increase in power over the Super Court, for sure. But the pop is pretty significant difference.
Yeah, and you play with the Super Court a lot. You won't let me play with it as much.
You're not allowed.
You can definitely see those differences probably a little better than I can. But it did remind me of it as far as feel and comfortability and like the vibration and everything, which is excellent. I felt like I didn't have to try as hard, you know what I mean, because of that pop. It was kind of nice up at the net. And I don't have a ton of control as a player. Just Same. General, I just don't. And even with the amount of pop it had, I felt like I still maintained good control with it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with all of that. And I just think that, you know, at the kitchen, you notice that pop. What I'm surprised is that it didn't affect my drops as much as I thought. Yeah. And I've been playing with the Super Court for a long time, but I've also been playing with the Vatic Saga 14 millimeter, which is a little bit poppier than the Super Court. Yeah. And so the transition from that to this hasn't been as drastic as I expected, but there is a strong difference between this and the Super Court. But I thought the poppiness was going to be a problem. Yeah. But I was still able to drop, and it was still very controllable, and the spin feels awesome.
Dude, honestly. Yeah, the spin is great.
So that's just kind of the early thoughts. We're going to play with this some more after this episode, and then eventually, after we get some more time on it, we'll do a longer, a proper review.
Yeah, I mean, we only used it in one game.
A couple hours isn't enough, even though it has a familiar feeling to the Super Court. I want to get many hours on it.
Yeah.
And we can do that while we test out Carl's favorite new ball.
Or if I pressure you into doing this tournament, you can use it, and we can put another medal up on this show.
That is the Super Court medal, so it does deserve a Phoenix medal now.
Exactly.
But we'll get to that. But yes. So do you want to talk about your initial impressions now that we've been hitting the lifetime ball a little bit? Should we talk about that?
Yeah. So we are currently using exact science, to test the lifetime ball and really give it a good workout. Really see how we feel about it. We've been playing a ton with it, putting it through all the tests. And I feel like as far as durability goes, this thing is pretty insane.
Durable and consistent.
Yeah.
Both.
Consistent is really the key word. And I think that's what you're looking for in a ball. It did bounce a lot.
Oh, it's bouncy.
But I would say overall it's been very consistent. And once you play with it enough, you really start to understand how it reacts. And I actually really like this ball.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see how this transitions now as this becomes the standard ball for the PPA.
Yeah.
Because, and we'll talk about this more in a minute with MLP, but that was a temporary court that they were playing on. The bounce wasn't quite as high. And so on a regular permanent court, though, that bounce is going to be much higher, and it's going to favor players like Hayden Patriquin and Gabe Tardio because off the bounce, those guys, and Anna Lee, I mean, they're nasty. And that's a huge part of the game that might have been missing that people are talking about a little bit as far as like, you know, the difference between the temporary court and a permanent court for a championship game and all of that. But I think overall, the lifetime ball is going to be a lot of fun to play with, but a lot of fun to watch these pros because the firefights are going to be insane.
Well, that's the thing. This ball is fast.
Yeah.
It is a fast ball. Like when we first started, we were hitting out the back a little more than normal. But like I said, as you get used to it, you understand the consistency. And because it's so consistent, you can like rely on it more.
Yeah. And I mean, we even let some people play with it when we first started testing it. There is the lifetime ball. The only lifetime ball.
This is left. We got one up there, but
there's one up there. Okay.
This is the one we've been testing.
That's the one.
We're trying to, like I said, put it through everything and see if we can get this thing to break.
So far to no avail.
No,
and we have had people smash that ball on us. So,
and I've smashed it.
But we've had some people try it out and just kind of get their feedback, and it was like almost feels rubbery. It's bouncy. It's heavy. A little heavier than.
He said a little heavier than.
So it's interesting to see what people think of it, but nobody has hated it yet.
No, people have been kind of
seem to be into it.
Impressed.
I know Isaac on Pickleball Studio said it was some of the worst pickleball he's ever played. I think he's like a 5.0. So, I mean, he knows what he likes, and that's good. But for us plebs, us peasants, it's fun. Should we be using it? I mean, probably not. We should be using that Marshmallow Franklin that you like. But,
in the summer.
But it's been fun to use. A lot of fun and just really consistent. So.
Yeah, I think that like anything, it'll take time. Especially these pros, they get used to a ball. They train with this ball nonstop. And then you throw a new ball in the mix. So, of course, you're going to have some, different feelings on it, but I do think once everyone is used to this thing, it's going to be a preferred ball by most people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I like that it doesn't have that fuzzy effect that some of these balls get as they wear out. Like we've used this in many games and have hit it hard purposely, just trying to crack it essentially. And it's still holding up perfectly. So I think that that's the biggest thing is like it's holding up. It's not getting out of round.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just going to play faster than all those other balls. So if you don't like that, then don't play with it. That's all.
Yeah. Or maybe we'll see. I guess maybe some people start to use more controlled paddles, and we can get back to the basics.
Might need to do it. You know what I mean? We just might need to. We definitely need to do it. But for all of you people that are interested in power paddles, we are out here just struggling. Slogging through every game, just popping balls up and using paddles we have no business using. But it's been a lot of fun. So we're going to continue to do it.
Yeah.
Because we're dedicated.
We are.
All right, Carl, shall we discuss it? Should we go Challenger first and discuss some MLP?
Dude, yes, because I don't have a lot of experience watching professional pickleball. This is kind of
first year.
The first year I'm into it. But from everything I've watched, this was the most entertaining, and this was the most electric pickleball I've ever seen. Some upsets, some surprises, some really good rallies.
Yeah, I mean,
I had a good time watching it.
it was, I mean, we were texting back and forth, and like even like going to the store, I had it on my phone and stuff. Like I couldn't stop watching it.
Yeah,
I can't miss a point here. But yeah, so this took part inside Central Park in New York City at City Pickle. They did it actually inside Woolman Rink, which is a skating rink that they converted into center court. So that's where the temporary court comes from. But it was overall looked like an awesome atmosphere. Fans were into it. And yeah, it was great. So, of course, Challenger, we like to root for the chefs because our guy, Anderson Scarpa, episode 9, go check that out if you haven't. He gave us a great conversation in episode 9, so we rooting for him and his team. And so, but really a fan of just everybody out there. Yeah. I mean, Night Owls, unbelievable performance from them. And people have said for a while that they are a premier team. And I mean, they showed it. I mean, they got some of those players are just.
Yeah, they're definitely deserving of that.
Insane. So, yeah, so Saturday they started off. Night Owls end up winning 12-10, 6-11, 11-8, 11-2. So no need for a dream breaker there. And then Sunday they had game 2. And the Chefs took it without a dream breaker, 11-7, 11-5, 7-11, 11-4. So then, naturally, Game 3 was also on Sunday, and Night Owls started hot. 11-5, they came out of the gate, and then the Chefs kind of regained some composure. Mm-hmm. They took the next 2 games with men's in the first mix, 11-4, 11-6. And then Night Owls brought it back in a tight one because, you know, Chefs up 2-1 here, and they just needed to close it out. But you know, Night Owls just weren't having it, so they end up pulling that one out 11-8, and you go to a dream breaker.
Oh yeah.
And to me, Brooke Buckner is the absolute, you know, she's the it factor for the dream breaker.
For sure.
She's a top 5 singles player. Zoe Wong is a top 10 singles player. I think they said on the broadcast, like the men are kind of, you know, they were, you know, Marshall Brown and Scarpa similar with Delgado and Tejas, but when you get to the women, and this isn't a slight on Arakina or Radikowska, but I mean, those are just 2 top singles players. That's just a brutal matchup. So you end up going into that, and it didn't go well right out of the gate, and so they Night Owls end up sealing it 21-9, so they will get promoted to the Premier League just as Miami did last year. And but I mean, just a ton of fun to watch.
Oh yeah, there was so many dream breakers this whole weekend, which was
it's just so good.
Yeah, it's my favorite.
If you've never experienced a dream breaker in pickleball, like please let's make this a standard in some form.
Oh yeah, it's the way to do it.
It is just 4 points from each player playing singles with a pre-made lineup, and you just keep rotating every 4 points. And you know, it freezes at 20. If you played at 21, you got to serve to win, and it's electric.
Oh yeah, it is,
because the whole bench is empty. Without, you know, usually you have half the team is playing.
Yeah,
the whole bench is full, I should say, and one person on the court. So there's a lot of hooting and hollering going on.
Oh yeah, and the points go quick, and it's just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And to see these players play singles is just really cool. It's just another dimension. And you really get to see certain people shine. And it was really, really fun to watch.
Yep, I agree. I mean, just some great performance all around. Obviously, congrats to the Night Owls. They earned it. This James Delgado could hit a hole through somebody's chest, okay?
Yeah.
I think Scarpa said on his episode that he is the hardest hitter on tour. And we've got varying answers on that, but I don't know that I can disagree with him after watching this past weekend.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
So he's going to be an interesting one to watch. He's only 21. He's coming up through, kind of sorting things out.
Well, and that lifetime ball, it goes fast.
Him with the lifetime ball is an unbelievable combination. So looking forward to seeing more of that. I think he is just such an aggressive player that when he dials that back or reins that in a little bit, he's going to be, I mean, the sky's the limit for him. His athleticism's through the roof. So
I agree.
And then obviously shout out to Scarpa because he was, you know, as he says, risk averse, and it was right because he just, everything is so calculated with him. He's so consistent. And it's just rare to even see him make an unforced error.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting to watch somebody be the anti-us, basically. So
yeah, he played really consistent. I thought he did a good job.
yeah, so shout out to him. One other thing here, we noticed that Jared Paul, who is the owner of the kitchen in some form and is also the manager, he tweeted or X'd, I don't know what we're calling that these days, whatever Elon wants. He had a longer tweet here, congratulating Las Vegas, and then he said that, if basically said Challenger shouldn't be a thing, no one cares about it. It's actually a bad look for the sport. If it is a thing, the Chefs deserve to move up. We took the Owls to the brink and beat them this year, and people said they were basically a premier team. There should only be one league with 4 players on each team, and waiver week occurs each week based on reverse order. So I actually commented back, and I agree, because I said, Challenger's hinting at lower level players, but in reality, I didn't see any low-level play this past weekend. Every single one of those people should be on a Premier League team, whether it's those teams they're on now elevating or them being a part of a draft for another team. But the future is very bright for MLP as far as whether it's Challenger or Premier, but just an interesting take from him, and I absolutely agree with it.
Yeah, I think I tend to agree with that as well. I think it could add a lot more viewability, if that's a word, to the Premier League as well. Yeah,
absolutely. So I think his argument is kind of like people don't, maybe are thinking Challenger is lesser. They're not turning out for it as they should for a Premier game. But I mean, we would have just absolutely loved to be there yesterday, Challenger or not.
Oh yeah, it was incredible to watch. When you separate how, the Chefs and the Night Owls played versus anyone in the Premier, semifinals, finals, you're splitting hairs there. Mm-hmm. They all played incredibly high level pickleball, and it was super fun to watch.
Definitely. I absolutely agree with that. And speaking of Premier, I guess we should discuss the Cinderella sliders.
Oh, yeah.
The chosen ones.
Yeah, that's your team.
Hey, listen, there's an episode somewhere in April that I mentioned that I was in Ohio when MLP started, I think, and I was like, oh, well, I'm gonna root for the Slide. I'm from Ohio, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And again, it's root for them is well, first of all, I love an underdog story.
Yeah.
But it was it gives me a reason to follow them. Let's just kind of can track them. I liked that team right out of the gate. I think it's such a unique team.
Yeah.
Because you've got Klinger's 19 and Daesky's 36, and you got Paris and Leia, who's I think 26 and 32. Yeah. So it's an interesting progression of ages, and it's not a super old team, it's not a super young team, but there's a lot of experience there.
Oh yeah.
And my thing with them is you just don't really want to see them in a dream breaker, because similar to the Night Owls, Paris Todd just won a singles championship. Leia Jansen's been a hell of a singles player for a long time.
Oh, for sure.
And then Klinger is becoming, just ice cold.
Dude. I love watching him play. It's so good. It's so entertaining.
Really good stuff from him. And then Andre is that's just another, I hope Andre plays more singles, but he doesn't really play a ton of it, but he looked real good out there.
He looked so good in these playoffs. Took it to another level.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. Everyone played well, but when you were watching him, it was it was almost like he was unstoppable. He didn't mess up too much. He just kind of played out of his mind.
Yeah. Well, I think that he's equally valuable off the court as he is on the court, because he's such a leader. He quickly calls the timeout when things are starting to get away, and that helped them to, recover things and get back into the game.
Well, and they said he has a strong tennis background. He's used to these bigger competitions and the nerves that come with it. And I feel like he was the anchor for his whole team.
Oh, he absolutely was.
Mentally and on the court.
And in my opinion, easily the MVP of the whole series.
Yeah, I agree.
Of the whole weekend, because
I agree.
He was just able to almost level set with them when things were starting to get away. And I think him and Klinger were either undefeated or maybe lost one time.
They play so well together.
It's really good. But yeah,
I would love to see them team up in PPA.
Yeah, and maybe we'll get it. But it's been so fun that I feel don't rob us from that, Andre and CJ. You guys gotta give the people what they want, which is more of both of you. And I also really enjoyed seeing Paris and Leia play, and sometimes Leia gets in her head a little bit, but you just don't want to see her in a Dream Breaker because she is a problem.
Yeah.
So, and then Paris, going down the line for the winner, the back, something with that team and backhand winners.
Yeah.
Klinger did it twice, and then Paris ends it with that. Really just unbelievable. But to go in there and beat, they start off with the Shock, who are the number one team easily.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe this is where that surface discussion comes in, where you're looking at Patrick Quinn and Gabe, who I felt like Gabe Tardio played his worst and I don't know, maybe it was part of his game being taken away because of the speed up off the bounce wasn't available with that surface, the temporary surface. But zero doubts that Gabe will be back because he's unbelievable.
But he didn't seem himself.
Yes.
I agree.
I think he, and that's some of the perks of being an older player or having somebody like an Andre there to guide you.
Yeah.
Is the mental game is huge, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
And I think he kind of got in his head a little bit early on, and it affected him. But I felt like the Shock were easily the hands down favorite, if not the Flash. And, they beat the Sliders, beat the Flash, then they get through the Shock. But
they barely beat the Flash. It was like back and
it's
forth.
A dogfight.
Yeah.
With the many Dream Breakers.
Yeah. Many Dream Breakers.
And they, in the Shock, they win in first sets in the first game, and then in the second game, or in the first game, and then they have to go to a Dream Breaker, 21-13 to advance. So they win in straight sets, but it was the first game and then the second game they had to go to a Dream Breaker, and then the Fives win in straight sets in both games against the Mad Drops, which didn't go their way. I was hoping for a little bit more from the Mad Drops, and I'm sure they are too, because that's a really good team.
Yeah, I feel like that team. I feel like in the next season, if that team is where they're at even right now, I feel like they're gonna get a lot better playing together. And Ben just joined that team recently, so he's a player that if you're his partner, it's something you really got to get used to. He has a certain way he plays. He likes to cover a lot of the court, and I felt like you could kind of see that Hunter Johnson was a little bit in his head. You could see him getting pretty discouraged, and
I think he felt like he's just kind of there to Ernie, where it was like, he's another one that if you can get to a Dream Breaker is the number one or number two
I think
singles
he's number
player.
2.
So it's like there's just so many weapons on a team. I was kind of surprised that they lost in straight sets, but the Fives have a hell of a team.
Oh,
so no discredit to the Mad Drops, as we said about Gabe. They will also be back, and looking forward to seeing that. It was a good one though for Fives in the slide, Fives in the Sliders. A lot of back and forth. And Saturday they ended in a Dream Breaker with the Fives taking it 21-17. I think people thought, this is, I think I saw somewhere that people were selling their tickets for game 2 because they thought, this is going to be over.
Dude, I texted you. I kind of felt the same way.
I was like, you can't give up on Andre.
Yeah.
There's just never count him out. He's going to have the team ready.
Yeah. They were.
Yeah. Sunday was another close match. Went to a Dream Breaker. 5 ladies were dominant. I mean, Anna Lee.
They usually are.
Megan Dazon, don't sleep on her.
No way.
Wow, is she good.
I think they're connecting as a team really well.
Probably better than anybody. They've been together the whole season.
Yeah.
And I also saw Dazon in the Dream Breakers, and I said, why are we not seeing more singles from her?
Yeah.
And I know Anna Lee doesn't play singles because it is a grind. Mm-hmm. But boy, Megan is nasty in singles.
Yeah.
And I hope that we get to see more of that.
And she comes from a tennis background, I believe, too.
Don't they all?
Yeah.
Except Anna Lee.
But that's the same thing as like we were talking about with Hunter Johnson. I feel like, Anna Lee plays a certain way. She plays, and she covers a lot of court. She's very dominant. And I think it just takes a little bit to get used to playing with that type of person or knowing when to, yield and when to not yield. And I feel like they're finally clicking to where they looked really, really good during the entire playoffs.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like you can tell with them there's more trust there because they've been together longer. Yeah. And Anna Lee is not taking as much of the court as like Ben would take because Ben doesn't really know how Hunter plays and vice versa. So she lets Megan cook, and there's
some trust there.
She was doing it.
And,
so that was great. So anyways, that was Saturday, and then Sunday, so they started off that with a win as they did the whole series, and then Sliders end up battling back, and then they win in a Dreambreaker 21-15. So first game 21-17 Dreambreaker for the Fives. Second game 21-15 for the Sliders. Final game was Sunday night. 5 women again start off and they just dominate, and then Columbus just goes on an absolute tear and wins 3 in a row. No Dreambreaker needed, and that was that. And that's how it, and Paris Todd put the bow on that thing, and we were done. But just so good. We played a little bit yesterday. It's been raining here every day, so we had to get out. We wanted to hit the Phoenix a little bit, so some of that was while some of these games were on for a little bit. So I went back and watched them today, but I mean, cinema. Yeah. Just unbelievable.
Especially that Saturday match between the Sliders and the Fives. I was like, dude, it was the best match I've ever watched. It was so good. It was so you literally didn't know who was going to win until the very, very end.
Yeah, because I think the Fives were constantly favored.
Yeah.
And it just felt like, because their crowd is so loud.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then it was interesting. But yeah, I mean, the Dallas match probably still my favorite on the season, but the Fives was right up there with it, and just unbelievable stuff there. So, but yeah, so that is MLP, and that's the end of MLP. So Shout out to you if you watched it. Now we are fiending for MLP again. So
yeah, I'm sad it's over.
We are very sad. It is over. We have to wait now until April. I believe it starts back up next year. So interested to see what changes they make. Do they keep with traditional score? Do they go back to rally? Different things like that will be interesting to see, and how the structure of the free agency is going to work. And, all of that. So
there's definitely some things they can do, but I really feel like it's on the up and up. You know what I mean? Yeah. MLP, I feel like it's starting to get the attention it deserves because it's really fun to watch. I love the team aspect of it. I would love to see more teams get in there and see how these teams develop together as well.
Yeah, definitely. So up next, it's all PPA stuff. So the next one is Walgreens Open at the Las Vegas Strip, August 27th through the 31st.
Let's go there. Let's do it.
I would love to go there. We discussed this last night via text that if it was possible, we would just go to every single MLP and every PPA. Of course. Event. But we're not there yet, Carl.
No, not yet.
Maybe someday. So yeah, looking forward to seeing that. I think it's going to be interesting now because I'm in such an MLP headspace that it's going to be interesting. Who's playing with who. I think that Leia's going to be playing. I don't remember who. I think she's playing with Noe Cliff. Okay. And I think that Megan Dazon is playing with Klinger and or Andre.
Oh, that'd be fun.
So I think that's going to be really interesting to see that dynamic of your top players that just got done battling it out. Now they have to transition from enemies to friends.
Yeah, teammates and stuff.
But that's what we love about it. So
that is what makes it cool. You get to see some people that normally wouldn't play against each other.
Yeah.
Being put in that position. It's pretty fun.
Yeah. So I think that pretty much wraps it up. In the pipeline, we have the Phoenix review. We will be doing that. And then
the Lifetime Ball. We're going to let you know our final thoughts on that as well. And if it ever breaks.
Yes, we're going to update you on that. But we have that video coming out at some point. And then, been talking to some folks in the industry and hoping we're going to get some gear coming our way so we can do some more reviews for you and go from there. But looking forward to it. It's going to be a full slate here, and then before you know it, October 3rd to the 5th.
Yeah, don't forget PPA Challenger Charleston,
Collins Park.
Oh yeah,
so
the big dog.
That's the one. So until the next episode, I know, like I said on the previous one, you got spoiled. You got 3 in a row. We took a tiny break. We're doing pretty good though.
Yeah, we're doing better.
Yeah, we are. So until episode 15, I guess that's all you're going to get from us. So for Unforced Errors with Frank and Carl, that wraps us up. We will catch you on the next one.
See you later.
0, 1. Let's get started.